there's a great need for heroes all over the world. I think there must be something in the human condition. I think everybody wants somebody or something to look up to respect, to try to emulate. And I remember when I was very young, I read Robin Hood, Ulysses, Sherlock Holmes, Tarzan. And basically those characters were all heroes to me. Sports stars are heroes. Entertainers become heroes after a while, the popular ones. And I guess it's only natural that comic strip characters should attain the same status. I really think it's part of the human condition, no matter who you are or where you live. I think people want to feel that there's somebody who's bigger and better and smarter and nobler than they, because in some way it's a good reflection on themselves. The changes mainly were, as I may have mentioned before, to inject more realism into these little comic books. For example, before Marvel Comics started with its new style, almost every hero spoke the same way. They had the same personalities. For example, Superman might see somebody robbing a bank, and he would say something like, "Oh, somebody's robbing that bank. I'd better catch him before he gets away." Or Batman might have said the same thing. Or Captain America might have said, "Somebody's robbing that bank. I'd better catch him before he gets away." Everything was trite and cliched and formularized. We decided to try to get characters to speak like real people would speak. No two people speak the same. And instead of making them just two-dimensional cardboard figures, each character that we created, we tried to say, well, what is his personality? What are his virtues? What are his failings? What are his hang-ups? How would he react to a certain situation that's different than the way he would react? With our characters now, I would like to think that Daredevil would not react the same way as Spider-Man, and Iron Man and the Hulk would speak differently given the same situation, and so forth. We also try to make our heroes a bit more vulnerable. In the past, heroes never did anything wrong. They never seemed to have any problems except catching the criminal. When we created our Marvel Comics heroes, we gave them money troubles. They occasionally had problems with females. They had trouble getting a date, or romantic problems. They had trouble paying their rent. With a character like Spider-Man, he'd worry about acne or dandruff or an ingrown toenail. We tried to make them as human and realistic as possible. And it may not seem like a very big thing, but apparently it made a great difference to the readers, because our books began selling much better. And what happened was we began to get older and older readers who they considered a lot of our stories satirical, as though we're satirizing the human condition and heroes. Another thing we did, we tried to use college level and above vocabulary. You know, in the past, comics were always, the editors and the writers were told by the publishers, don't use words of more than 2 syllables. Remember, you have young children reading these. Keep the plot simple, a good guy, a bad guy, and that's all. And we changed that. We tried to do them like movies. And in a story, if a character had to use a word like misanthropic, or philanthropic, or cataclysmic, or whatever the word was, we would use it. And a strange thing happened. We found we didn't lose any of our younger readers at all, but our younger readers, their vocabularies began to improve. But as I mentioned, we started getting a lot of older readers too. Even heroes, even superheroes, they have to be believable. And in order to be believable, a person has to have problems.